Hey everyone, it's Brandy and you are watching Abstract Crafter. In today's video, we have the next product up for examination for the sealing experiments that I have going on. We're going to try out this Podge Dimensional Magic. So if you're curious about how it works and how it turns out, then just keep on watching and we will get into that in just a few moments. Why, hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. Hello, hi. I am so glad that you're here, and I'm just so happy that all of you have stopped by to spend a little bit of time with me while I experiment with some different sealants and adhesives to see what's gonna give the best finished look for those instances when we need a sealant. So in the last few experiments, like with the resin and with the triple thick, it was a little bit more long-winded and I went into more techniques and stuff, but we're going to speed it up a little bit for the rest of the experiments going forward. Most of the techniques are going to be the same. I'm going to brush them on with some sort of a brush. I'm running low, so I'm going to have to pick up some new brushes. And for as long as I can, we'll be doing one part of one of these keychains. So like here was the triple thick. Eventually there'll be 4 different sealants on this, which is fine because it's for my own personal use, and I do have 1 butterfly left to seal, so we have plenty of space for those. And then we'll be doing a sticker as a different accessory. And I am starting kind of a swatch sheet. I have the triple thick here, and then I'll do the resin brush on and poured, and I'll do that off camera and I'll add it to this. So it's going to be kind of a swatch sheet. It'll be kind of a way to be able to A, take pictures easily, and B, compare in a different kind of aspect. And then we do have our square, and I'll section off different spots on here to be able to do these experiments with. We have 2-part resin here. We have the UV resin here. On the bottom here, we have the triple thick. And then we will do the same experiment on rounds. So this one has the 2-part on the bottom. I have a separate round here with the UV resin. And that's just so I have more canvas available. And we have the triple thick right here, and in all experiments I do them plain and then I add resin. So I'll demo it probably on at least 1 canvas, maybe 1 accessory. We'll see what time allows, and then off camera I will do, whatever we don't get on camera, as well as adding the glitter. I still have some glitter to add. And if there's anything else that you would like me to do with these going forward, besides what I have available that I've showed you, then you can just let me know. So I'm going to get all set up, get this put in a little dish of some sort. You can see it has separated a little, so I gotta get it. It says do not shake as it causes bubbles. So I'm just gonna kind of tilt it a little bit and kind of rotate it. It's already got bubbles in it. I've been kind of jostling it a little bit, but I guess we'll see. This is really more meant, I don't know, it's kind of like a resin alternative, if you will. That's not the exact use for it, but for the ease of trying to explain it, it kind of creates a little bubble. So this isn't really meant to be brushed on, but we are going to try it, and I will try encapsulating on one of the projects. I won't do it on all of them, but mainly I want to see what it looks like brushed on. So this will be the first of many Mod Podges. I have a few more lined up, and then because I'm a little bit behind on getting these experiments out to you, I'm just going to rapid fire shoot them out and go by what that first poll was, just to save time that way. So after the Mod Podge, it was pretty much tied right up with these two products. So Tombow will be coming up next, and then Diamond Glaze will be coming up after that. And then I will let you know at the end of this one what to expect going forward from there. So I'm going to get set up, get zoomed in, and we will start at seeing how this at least lays down. I want to try to do an accessory and a sticker, and then off camera I will do the canvases, and of course, as always, I'll take close-up pictures, I'll add glitter to some of it, and we'll just kind of go from there. Alright, I am in setup mode. So I have used this on necklaces, and I did like the way that it worked for that. So I haven't really actually heard of anybody using this for sealing, but I'm just gonna pour a little in these little shot glasses I found at Goodwill. I don't know how quickly. I know this sets up. It takes like 24 hours to set up. So, oh, it says let dry 3 hours, but we're gonna give it 24 just to be safe. Like I said, I haven't really seen any videos. I haven't looked for any either. I just wanted to try it because I had it sitting around. So let's see. And as with the last one, I kind of tried to make sure I didn't go over where it actually peels off. And my technique might be a little bit different than what you would do. Sometimes I may overwork the product, but know that a lot of the times when I do things like that, it's for a reason. Specifically on products that warn against overworking. And I try not to flood the product, but I do like to make sure it gets in there and get to the bottom where the actual glue is, because that's the big worry more than anything, is that losing that adhesion. And with rounds more specifically, my worry is the stuff getting caught in the space between, whereas squares you don't really have to worry about that too much. So typically what you would do with this product is you would squeeze it on top and kind of let it sit there and encapsulate itself over whatever it is that you're working on. Like I said, this is more meant for jewelry making and people who have a hard time working with resin. At least that's my understanding from the intro videos that I watched from Podge themselves. They have a YouTube channel, if you didn't know. And I mean, they don't like keep it super updated, but alright, so I feel like I got plenty of product on there for the most part. So now I'm just gonna kind of take it and move it up and around. And I will take a separate sticker and completely encapsulate it and use it in the way that it was meant to be used. But for this particular one, I'm just trying to do it the thinnest possible coat, which kind of is everything that goes against what this product was created for. Let me know if you guys have used this and what you've used it on. And for those of you that were curious about it, what was it that drew you to want to see if this product would work as a sealant? I mean, for me, I was just picking out as many products as possible to try to use as a sealant. Alright, so like I always do with every sealant video, at the end I drag my brush through to pull off any excess that might be there, and then I just brush my brush off on the side of the container. But this doesn't look like it's needing, it looks like it's moving where it needs to, is I guess what I'm trying to say. It's not really pooling up, it's kind of moving around on its own. So I'm mostly just trying to get anywhere where it might be building up in the between the drills there. Alright, so let's put that guy off to the side. He is done. Let's see if I can get you a little closer. I am zoomed in at two times. I was gonna say 2%, but So that's where it is right now. And I do have another black and white unsealed to compare to at the end. Right now it's kind of looking a little dull, like it lost a little bit of its shine, but it's wet. So let's put that off to the side. Let's see what side. Okay, so this side has already been sealed with, and you can see a big difference. It kind of took away the shine from the bigger gems, whereas it kind of protected the AB coating on some. I don't know. It was a blessing and a curse. So for this one, I'm going to do just the same exact thing as I did on the sticker. And then off camera, I will do the canvases, and then I'll come back and show you what they look like before I leave them to sit for 24 hours or more, depends on if I can get back to them in that amount of time, I guess. So I'm just, again, trying to do a very light coat, but this has got a lot more space around the gems that has potential to get stuff stuck. One thing I'm going to try to do with this one that I don't typically do is not go over the top of all of the big gems and just go around them to seal them into the bottom. I will go over some of them, like I went over the white one there, but I don't want to go over the top of both. So I will go over the top of one, but not both, so that we have kind of a little bit of a comparison as to what it does. And the diamond, I think I got, okay. The middle one I will leave because that one I don't think it's been brushed over. It shows off more on camera. Actually, it has. So maybe I'll just do the bottom part of that and leave the top half to see if anything happens. Because I noticed that above all else is kind of what gets dulled is those bigger gems that look like diamonds. And then just really lightly going over this bottom. And it's still pretty runny, so it's workable for quite a bit of time. I'm trying to get faster at doing some of this, because in some of my other experiments, it got really gummy if I was too slow and talked too much, which we all know I have a tendency to do. So if it is speed that you are looking for and just results, yeah, I'm probably not the channel for you, honestly. And I don't mean that in a bad way at all. I know that I'm long-winded and I know that I ramble, but I'm never going to change that. Okay. So that's pretty well covered. You can tell by how shiny it is. So we'll put that off to the side and see what happens in 24 hours. That one will be a little bit harder to compare. I probably should have started on the other side, but that's okay. So I am going to just quickly do a couple of small swatches on the square canvas and the round canvas, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. That is where I will also adhere the glitter to them, so you can see what it looks like when it's mixed with glitter, or if it can be mixed with glitter. So I will be back in just a split second for you. Well, now I just had way too much fun doing that. So I have finished all the applications. I have to be careful on some of these because of the poured method that I used, because that's what this product is intended for, is the pouring method. But okay, let's see how well I can do this. I'm gonna just try to carefully just move things into frame and then zoom in on it because of where I poured. And there we go. You can kind of see where it was poured. And I did this for those of you wonderful people that are gonna say that's what this is meant for. I do know that. I bought it for jewelry making for that purpose. So obviously that's where it's been poured. This has got the glitter in it and just brushed on. And obviously, as soon as it's in this next portion, after I allow these to sit for 24 hours, you will get to see all of that. dry and up close and better view. So I'm going to move that one off, put it into its position to dry, and pull in the square. Let's see if I can get all 3 sections. There we go. So I just did a very small section here of the poured, and I have an idea of how it's going to turn out, but, you know, I still wanted to do it. I did it more to be fair, since I did the first time I ever did resin, that was poured. So that way I have something to compare that to as well. I'm that kind of person. I need to know it all. And I like to cover all my bases and be as thorough as possible. So, glitter right here, the plane right here, and it is already dry to the touch, but it's just not completely cured yet. And then there, obviously, is where I poured it. That would not be dry to the touch. Not even close. Okay, so carefully as I possibly can. Okay, here's our sticker that we did. And I'm just slowly, without moving it too much, going to bring in the sticker. And I think one thing that I know I'm probably going to like about the sticker, though you'll lose the diamond painted aspect, it's going to create a bubble sticker. That's what I'm thinking. And you can kind of see that. I know the lights are bouncing and causing glare. Let's see if I can... I'm trying to block that. So you can... No, I don't think any of it's going to work. I think you're just there. It's darkened, but you can kind of see. And the nice thing about doing it this way is it did not move from where I placed it. But I'm going to let these all set up as my heater kicks in, and I have to speak over it. I'm going to let these all set up for 24 hours, and in the next clip, you will see all the wonderful, beautiful results of the experiments with Mod Podge Dimensional Magic. Oh, see, I'm so zoomed in you can't even see. All right, I'll see you in just a second. All right, let's see some results. And then I'll talk a little bit about pros and cons with this product. I have to say, like, immediately, I'm a little bit pleasantly surprised. But overall, I don't see a whole lot of difference between this and the triple thick. And I'll show you why I think that in a minute. I haven't, like, thoroughly examined everything, so we can do that together. The only thing I've really looked at are the stickers and the key ring. So that doesn't say much, but I wasn't sticking to the Dimensional Magic. I was sticking to what was left over sticky that I must not have covered. So this is what the sticker looks like. And of course, I will insert pictures as I talk about each product. I don't know. You'll have to let me know if you like with and without flash. I just include them all just because my lights don't do it justice, and seeing things in person is obviously better than camera. So I just try to do as many different ways as possible to try to give you the most realistic results. And so here is what the sticker turned out like. And you can see it still got a little bit of a shine, like if you compare it to the Panda, which is of the same color family. Obviously, you're going to get a lot more glittery shine, so it does, you lose that shine, which is the thing I've noticed with most sealers so far. We're getting down there, though, and we're getting to the ones that are the tried and true and the ones that people highly recommend. Now, this one, you can see it kind of buckled a little bit right in the middle, and you can't really, like, I don't know. We'll see what happens when I apply it to my swatch sheet, but it did create the bubble sticker that I was hoping it would. It's just curved inward. And it did a really nice job. Like I was saying, as before my heater kicked me out, that where I placed it, like if you can see along those edges, it didn't move. It didn't, like, pool over. So I think that's where the magic part comes in, is that it stays where you put it. And I was able to completely encapsulate. And I don't really have another one of a super similar color palette, but I have one that's in kind of close. I mean, it's got one of the same colors being the center here of whatever that is, and the little neck of the giraffe. But you can see it's kind of like squares again, where you get that wave of color, or sparkle, excuse me, and not really the, you know, glittery effect that you get from the sticker here. As far as the keyring goes, I did go along the edges on it, which I try to always do. I don't know what I'll do when I get to the side that doesn't have anything. So this is what it looks like with no sealant on it. And here is, so we're just looking at this side. It gives it a really like glossy finish, I guess. And I guess the thing of it is if, say that 3 times fast. The thing of it is that if you're just after the effect, you know, of the finished diamond painted keyring, and you just want to protect it, it's perfect. Both sides, both sealants that were used on this particular side, the triple thick here and the Mod Podge here, it's doing what you need it to do. I mean, the other thing I need to test is movability, and you could still pull them off with enough force. I can feel it, hear it cracking and wanting to move, but maybe with a little bit more cure time, it would be fine. So now we can look at the diamond paintings themselves. So obviously here we have the resin, the triple thick, and here is the Mod Podge. We can, I'm going to do a total wrap-up video at the end where we will look at everything side by side as much as possible. So I can just fold it. It's so thick. You can see like those diamonds are wanting to come off, but they ain't going nowhere because they're stuck to their partner. So this is where it's brushed on right here. This is where I added glitter, and this is where it was poured on. Now, as far as being poured on, it does resemble the resin. So if you like the overall look of the resin here, then this is a good alternative to avoid that harsh smell. So then with the glitter, you get that sparkle back. You know, and seeing it for the first time, I'm sorry I'm hesitating a lot, but I don't know. It's hard to say, really, but seeing it for the first time, I'm not seeing a big difference as far as this being a good alternative or a good sealer for diamond paintings themselves, especially the poured, because it did the same thing where on the underside, if it'll show, probably not, but I can feel where it buckled a little bit, and the resin did the same thing where it almost like changes the consistency of the background. But all right, let's look at the square, and then we'll wrap up and I'll tell you my final thoughts, and I'll put in a slideshow as I talk about that stuff. So on the squares, I just did I mean, you can see right here where I did the poured, just a teeny tiny square. This is where it was brushed on, and right here is the glitter. And I do always go off to the side a little bit so that you can see what it looks like on, you know, next to it. And that's also for my benefit too. So, I mean, always adding the glitter in, I have noticed, at least on the canvases, seems to help replace some of the sparkle that you lose when you use a sealant on them. But I mean, I don't know. As always, you know, your opinions are going to be what really matters. I'm just doing these to show you, like, I don't have like a favorite at this point just yet. So it's really to help you if you were questioning a certain product and wondering if you should try it out. And this is just to kind of help add a little bit to it. So, I mean, you can see that it maintains the sparkle a little bit on camera. And of course, I'm just seeing it through my lens. I'm not seeing it on the actual, like when I go into my editing program, I'll be able to see things better. But, and where this glitter is, that it seems to be a little bit better. I don't know. It's actually seeming to maintain the sparkle. Like, am I crazy? Or are you seeing it too? Let me come back to this one. So keeping in mind that where these lines are is where the other sealant is. And I go about halfway in. This one ends right here. There's no easy way to mark in the middle of a painting, but it goes about to the bird, or what's supposed to be a bird. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, in person, it's not what, I don't know. It's not the same kind of sparkle, at least not on the rounds. I mean, I'm picking up the glitter and stuff, but okay. So, let's just bring everything back and talk a little bit here. Oh, there we go. About everything. And I can tell you my final thoughts while I put in a little bit of a slideshow of all of these. That might be a little bit more helpful. And I did add a little tiny bit of glitter. Obviously, I didn't do a very good job coating this particular drill. But I just wanted to see what it would look like on top of a gem. I mean, this thing was already what it was, so I figured it couldn't really hurt. Pros, it's super, super easy to work with. It doesn't go where you don't want it to. You would think it would because it's a thinner product, but it stays where, you know, you put it. It's very easy to manipulate. If you want to create bubble stickers, it's super easy to work with in that way. It has a super fast drying and curing time. I just let these sit overnight, whereas everything else that I've tried so far has had at least 24 hours before they were fully cured. And in some cases, like the triple thick, you needed 36 hours. I guess, see, I like it on the squares because it doesn't seem to take too much away. And if you wanted to, you could very easily just get that right in those grooves wherever, you know, you have gaps or along the edges to keep them from popping off. They don't seem to move off of the canvas, and this particular one was very, you know, the glue was very bad on the rounds. So the cons of it, though, is it does take away the sparkle. It doesn't work on everything. On the key ring, it does enhance it. It makes those look more glass-like, just like everything else that we've tried so far has done as well. It's easier to work with than the triple thick because you don't have to worry about overworking it, whereas on the triple thick you do. It's not a cheap product either. And I know you can get this in some craft stores, so I guess I would check around. I'll put a link to it from Amazon, but just use that as kind of a, you know, a starting point. I'm not sure what these pictures are going to show until I get into editing, so you'll have to let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. And just remember that if you don't like it, that is okay. You can tell me that. I'm not going to be offended. Just and then leave some suggestions of other products to try. Up next, like I said, we'll be doing the Tombow and Judikins, and then we'll be getting into some Mod Podge. I'm going to try Puzzle Saver glue. I'm going to try a whole bunch of spray sealants. So we have plenty more to go, so stay tuned for all those future experiments. But I'm really curious what your thoughts are after seeing the pictures and the video and all of that stuff. What you know, if you like this, you don't, you think you like it on some things and you like it on, don't like it on others. I like it on the accessories, but I don't like it on the canvases, personally. And I'm borderline on the squares because squares have a really wave-like effect, whereas rounds have a more glittery effect. So I guess I'm really torn. But again, all of this, I'll have more of my thoughts as far as what I think at the end of all these experiments. We got a ways to go. So that's where I'm going to leave you today. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. It would mean so much to me. Hit the thumbs up, so that the video will get seen and it'll get out there more. And it'll help our wonderful, beautiful family grow. Hit that notification bell so that you will always be updated when I upload videos just like this one and so much more. And with that, I will let you go. Have an awesome day. Have fun doing whatever it is that truly, truly makes you happy. I love you, friends, and I will see you in the next one.